Hi, this is Dr. Steven with Outclick Magazine. Today we're excited to bring to you Steven Abrams, the Executive Director of our very own South Florida's TriRail. Steven, welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you, thank you. I usually, one of my first questions is pretend like someone has never heard of TriRail. Tell us what it is.
Well, TriRail is the commuter railroad for South Florida. We operate between Miami to West Palm Beach on the western tracks here in
Mhm.
South Florida. 18 station stops between those two cities, stopping about every 3 or 4 miles.
Mhm.
And our mission is to get people to work and get people to school. We also connect to all three of the international airports here in South Florida.
We were chatting just before. It's 73.4 miles. Sometimes we forget actually how far up and down the rail goes. It's vital for so many people getting to work and to school, as you were just saying. So, tell us about what you've been doing this past year.
Well, as we all have been doing, is coping with the pandemic.
Hmm.
It certainly affected our operations
Hmm.
clearly, especially during the strict lockdown when people were not going into work. And of course, still many offices are closed. But as offices are reopening, schools are reopening, we've been gradually able to increase our ridership and increase our service from the depths of the pandemic back in March, where our 50 trains a day were reduced to 18 trains. Yet we still were able to operate because, as we know here in South Florida, we had people who were essential workers who needed to get to their jobs, especially healthcare workers. And also, what's interesting about what we do here at South Florida Regional Transportation Authority on that corridor is not only do we operate the commuter railroad, but we're in charge of dispatching and maintaining the freight railroad. So we were also instrumental in keeping the supply chain moving during the pandemic.
Okay. And you all kept TriRail, we were chatting before, TriRail kept going this entire time in 2020 and kept people moving to and from work, which is absolutely phenomenal considering all the challenges that everyone had this year. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, we have a very dedicated staff here, employees,
Hmm.
and workforce, and we consider ourselves an essential service. So not
Essential.
only are we transporting people in healthcare and other frontline jobs their uh, to their job sites, but we ourselves are essential workers. So we're very proud to continue in that role during this pandemic.
Hmm. We've got the website. I want to put up all of the stops that people can see up and down the railway system. There's so many stops. It's, as you said, the airport, the Fort Lauderdale Airport, all the way up to Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, and go all the way down to the Miami Airport. There's all stops all up and down there for all three counties. The Tri-Rail, the tri counties that people can get on and off. So.
Yeah, it's the cities where the cities and towns where people live.
Mhm.
So, and we also have a good ridership from west of the corridor. So, because there are two uh, tracks here in South Florida that people are, I'm sure, familiar with. The one on the east that's operated by Florida East Coast Railway, and the one which we operate on, the South Florida Rail Corridor. And because we are a western track, we the downside is we don't go through the downtowns of the major cities, although ask me about that because that is certainly part of our long range plan.
Okay.
But because we also, because we're situated west of I-95, we're able to attract riders from, the Coconut Creeks and the Coral Springs, Parkland, Cooper City, you name it. A lot of the communities that are west, and they drive to our stations every morning,
Mhm.
hop on, and they're able to go north and south.
Mhm. We were looking at some of the interesting statistics that before COVID, when the data was collected, weekday average was 15,000. Some of the 50 weekday trains And then what was the other? There are a couple of others. Fiscal year 2020, 3.5 million riders. You think about the number of people that one service provides getting people back and forth to work. We were chatting before. My partner actually picks up the Cypress Creek station, goes all the way down almost to the airport to get to work every day. And as we were saying, he doesn't have to drive. He gets to nap or watch a movie or read a book. He talks to his mother on FaceTime. And so it's the stress that he doesn't have of driving. There's a lot less fuel saved. There's the energy, and our environment is saved by this service.
Right, and so that benefits everyone. In other words, because we have these thousands of riders, and actually over our 32-year existence, we have we've taken 100 million riders on our trains. That's 100 million cars off of the road here in South Florida, which is the equivalent of up to 1 lane of traffic on I-95 each and every day. But yes, I am one of those riders myself. I've been a daily rider for 10 years now, and I can personally attest to all those productive things that you're able to do on the train. I guess that would include calling my mother as well. So
Yes, he calls his mother, and I think every day, I think they talk while he's on the train, and I can tell when he's on the train because I get a flurry of emails of things I'm supposed to be doing from him while he's on the train.
Well, I mean, one of the interesting things is actually overhearing people's phone conversations. Now, it's probably not very exciting to listen to Arthur talking to his mom, but I can tell you there's some other conversations that'll blow your mind. But,
Yes.
But pretty much, there's a camaraderie with the regular daily commuters on the trains, and it's a lot of fun, and it saves you, as you mentioned, the aggravation. Mainly of driving. We're all familiar with driving up and down I-95 with our white knuckles on the wheel, and you really are able to avoid that and actually bypass a lot of the traffic jams along the way. So very productive for the riders, but also, as mentioned, takes cars off the roads that make it beneficial for our folks who are still driving, as well as all those extra benefits for the environment and other things that you mentioned.
Right. Are there any amenities people should know about when they're on the TriRail?
Well, we have the Wi-Fi, so you have full internet access, and that's the main amenity that people enjoy on the train. We have, although I'll tell you, we also have free parking at our stations.
Okay.
We have a commuter connector at many of our stations that will take you that last mile to your ultimate destination. So yes, we're always trying to improve the service to make it useful to our everyday riders.
All right, and you've got a new campaign coming up. $5 goes a long way. Tell us about that, Steven.
Well, that's the other great attribute of TriRail is we're affordable, and especially if you are a regular rider, then you are able to take advantage of the discounts, the 30-day pass, the employer discount program. But even if you're not, even if you're taking it for that one trip, let's say to the airport, you're still just paying a very affordable fare, and also not paying for the parking, let's say at the Fort Lauderdale Airport. Well, we connect to all three. So Fort Lauderdale Airport, Miami, we go almost right into the terminal there. And so you're not only paying a very nominal amount, but you're saving a lot in terms of parking and your own gas, et cetera, that you would be using. So all in all, it's we're a very affordable system.
Very supportive system. The other economic impact personally is that the wear and tear on your own vehicle. You go through less tires, less oil changes, and less mileage on your car, which changes the depreciation on your car. So it's not only just that one piece of what you spend, it's the overall wear and tear maintenance vehicle on your vehicle that you save over the lifetime of your car, and you multiply that. That's another part of the economic impact of what you save if you use this kind of service and that kind of out-of-pocket expense that you have that you can save. So tell us about your future plans. What's going to be coming up for TriRail? What can we expect?
So we are very excited about our future plans. I mentioned there are two parallel train corridors down here in South Florida. The one that we operate on in the west, the one that FEC Railway operates, which where TriRail Brightline also operates. But what folks don't always realize is that these two corridors are actually connected. It's one interconnected corridor. So down in Miami at 79th Street, there is a connector that comes across from our corridor to the Eastern FEC corridor. And we have agreements in place to extend our existing service so that half of our trains would continue down our corridor to ultimately go to Miami Airport as we do now, but half would peel off around that Miami Metro Rail station across and then down into downtown Miami, into the Miami Central Station. So that's very exciting. We're waiting on Brightline to complete some federally required safety features along the corridor. But once that's in place, we look forward to doing that. Then, because of that will be coming, there's been renewed interest on the part of Brightline to enable the counties to extend commuter rail service up that FEC Eastern corridor. Brightline is different type of rail transportation. They are intercity passenger rail. For those of you who have been on Brightline when they were in service, and they're hopefully coming back soon, you'll realize that they don't stop every 3 miles. They have fewer station stops. They're more expensive, more tourist oriented. They ultimately will be going to Orlando and beyond. So they're a different type of service. However, on that corridor, starting with Miami-Dade County, they're in negotiations with Brightline to provide the commuter rail service that we provide through downtown Miami, from downtown Miami through Miami-Dade County. And then that sparked interest on the part of Broward County. They last week entered into an agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation to start studying what it would take to provide commuter service on the Broward portion. And I'm sure Palm Beach County is not far behind. TriRail would look forward to operating that service. It's a service that we've contemplated for many years now called TriRail Coastal Link. And it would basically extend our existing service and complete that interconnected loop throughout South Florida, which would be a real boon and very convenient for people trying to get around down here in congested South Florida.
Well, that sounds like an amazing plan. There's so much to do here in all 3 counties, and then the population obviously moving, back and forth for both work and then for so many things to do and our visitors. So this is such a great resource, Steven, and it's a huge undertaking and a lot of pieces and parts. And obviously, the TriRail has been around and is for a while, and it's so vital for so many people getting around. And as I've said, I know people that use the service, and when I commuted, I had to commute down the turnpike, and I tried so hard to find something for a service like this because it's very tiring when you have to drive a lot. So it's a luxury to be able to have this and to enjoy a service like this. So we appreciate your hard work and making all this put together. So
thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other final words people should know about TriRail or any of the campaigns that you've got going?
Well, we're trying to keep our visibility up. Of course, all of us are looking forward to emerging from this pandemic. Eventually, we will. Eventually, there will be renewed demand for the service for all the reasons that we've discussed. The fact that, during this pandemic, we've seen folks moving down from New York and up north to Florida, to South Florida, to set up shop. So we'll always have that traffic congestion that our system helps people avoid. Also, as we've discussed, we're a service-based economy. People can't work from home if they work in a hotel or they work in a restaurant or they work at a construction site. And so they really depend on efficient transportation to get them to their work site. And then finally, we alluded to the fact that the environmental benefits. We're still down here in South Florida, ground zero for climate change. And the fact of the matter is that of all the different modes of transportation, even some of the innovative ones we're hearing about, like autonomous vehicles, rail is really the only one that actually takes cars off of the road. And if we're going to attack that our carbon footprint and reduce it, really you're talking about making transportation more efficient. I think transportation, I read, is 70% of the oil barrel. And so we have a sign at our flagship station down here in Pompano Beach that says 400 cars equals 8 buses equals 1 train. And of course, that should be a TriRail train. So we think the future is bright for transit down here in our area.
Having something that's obviously great savings, it's great for our environment. It's easier on you mentally and physically when we get there. It's a great service. So we're advocate of people being able to use this. And I know the people that use it are very thankful. And you guys have really done a tremendous job this year in such a challenging time. So thank you, Steven, for this time. And we look forward to what's more to come for TriRail. And like I said, I've got a good vested interest in it. My partner uses it every day to get himself down to work. So we're going to pull
forward to seeing him on the train. So
he'll be on the train. We're going to pull your Arthur's going to pull up your website right now. It's tri-rail.com. So make sure you get the dash in there. TriRail, and the schedules are on there to pick up the different schedules, and the different stations are all on there. As you said, free parking. Is that correct?
And yes, and let me also add, we have a very convenient free app that you can download.
Okay.
That actually also has a train tracker, so you can actually see in real time where the trains are on the corridor. And of course, we're on all of the social media platforms.
Okay, we're going to put your social media up there too. Arthur's got the links to the social media. So we're going to put those up. If you can flip those over. There we go. There we go. Facebook.com/TriRail, your Instagram and Twitter accounts to stay up to date. So very good. Our website is outclick.com, outclique.com. And you can text OCQ to 22828 to stay updated on us. Steven, thank you so much. I'm sure you've got a full plate today, so we appreciate you taking time out to talk to us today about TriRail. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day. And again, grab your ticket and jump on the TriRail today. Thanks.